What's going on, everybody? Today I am here with Matt. Matt has been working with me for quite a while. I don't remember how long it's been right now. I mean, basically like 8 months, I think.
Yeah, 8 or 9 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, I mean, it has been absolute beast. I've never seen anyone as consistent as he is. So it's my personal source of pride as well that I'm working with somebody like that. Same time, Matt, we have something to celebrate because you got down to 210, which was your pre-wedding weight.
Yep.
Then we started at what, 255?
Yep.
Something like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
So, it's something that we already talked about, but just if you can introduce, the concept to your audience, because it's 2010 right now. It was 210 right now. It was 210 back then. But your body composition, how different is it? Tell us about this thing.
Yeah. Um, so leading into my wedding, I actually had a pretty difficult 3 months prior. I was unexpectedly laid off from my job, and I had gone from being very thin, not lifting for years. I was running a lot. I had run a marathon. I was doing cross training, killing myself to stay thin. And when leading up to the wedding, when I got laid off, I was like, well, I got to figure out something. So I started going to a local gym, kind of same kind of idea, cross training. And that's about all I did. I'd work out for that 45 minutes to an hour every weekday. And then I was just applying to jobs. So I was pretty docile. I wasn't getting a lot of other activity in. I was not monitoring what I ate, doing a little bit of intermittent fasting. That was about it. So I was going from, in 3 months, that 210, I gained 20 pounds. So a lot of that was not muscle. So now the 210 that I'm at now is very different, because I was coming from a place of putting on that muscle and cutting fat in a sustainable way over a long period of time, which, yeah, it's been 9 months. And so now I'm much more lean. I don't think people didn't notice as much. And that's where I've really noticed the differences. Back then, people thought I was in fairly good shape, but like no one commented. And now everyone that's close to me is noticing the difference. So that feels really good. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the dietary experiences that you had before? What did you try? Why didn't it work?
Oh man, I tried everything. I did keto, which actually worked well for me for a little bit, because I don't have much of a sweet tooth. You and I have talked about that. I like more of the fatty, greasy stuff. Um, but it wasn't sustainable long term, because when I did try to lift, I had no strength. And I also tried, I mentioned intermittent fasting. I tried counting calories without any regard to macros. I didn't really understand those yet. So I tried that, and I wasn't seeing results, because I was probably going very low on protein and high on carbs, if I had to guess what I was doing back then. There's probably some other stuff I tried, but yeah, I got very discouraged, before you and I made contact, because I just felt like I had, even in my late 20s already, I had felt like, oh, my metabolism doesn't work anymore. And I basically, if I'm going to lose weight, I need to just kill myself in the gym. And then eventually the pounds will come off. And what I realized is that's not necessarily the case anymore. So.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I got a question. I don't like asking this question, to be honest with you, but I love hearing the answer. What is working with me like?
Uh, it's very, I would say it's very empowering. You do a good job of providing guidance when I need it, but also not being like micromanaging the process. Like when we first did the diet, I was kind of bracing myself, because the last person I had worked with that did kind of a counting calorie meal plan type of thing was very prescriptive, and actually wasn't seeing a lot of results. And it felt like work, because you don't want to eat the same thing all the time. So like our first meeting, I noticed the difference, because you asked me what I was already eating, and so we made like a day's plan around that. And so that gave me kind of an idea like, oh, I don't have to completely change what I like to eat to make this real. It gave me a blueprint, to work off of. And then with lifting, same kind of thing. It's been on my pace. You've had certain things you've introduced into the training program when I feel like I need something more, but it's never been like, you're never imposing those things on me. So it's at my pace, my timing, which, like I said, is very empowering, because it's like you get what you put into it, and that's motivating for me.
Yeah, beautiful, man. All your results, everything that you experience, how does it affect other areas of your life?
Well, I mentioned that people are noticing. That's one big one. I've you and I, when we first started working together, I mentioned wanting to fit into my clothes again and stuff. I have all kinds of, this shirt, actually, I didn't wear it intentionally. This is a shirt that was sitting in my drawer for a long time that I couldn't wear anymore, and now it fits. So I'm getting a lot of new clothes back, which is cool. I just feel more confident. Um, I feel like I was able to overcome a lot. I mentioned to you, like, during the pandemic, that was a really hard time. I lost my dad, and the social isolation that everyone dealt with. And that was one of the milestones you and I celebrated about 20 pounds ago, was like getting back to the weight I was at the beginning of the pandemic, because that was just I was physically carrying like the emotional baggage. That's how I kind of viewed the weight. It was like the actual baggage from that period of time. So I just feel like renewed. I feel like I've kind of, I just turned 30, but I'm in the best shape I've been in for a long time. It makes me feel good about the future. So yeah.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, you've been doing some amazing work. I'm always blown away by seeing your results. So that's fantastic, man. One last question for you, Matt.
Yeah.
If you was on the fence about working with me, what would you tell them?
I would say you got to give it a shot, because you deserve it. And even if you're jaded from trying a lot of different things, um, you haven't actually tried everything. That's what I would say. I've learned a lot from working with you about things where I was like, oh, that's where I screwed up. Oh, that's why that didn't work. So like, I would just really challenge that mindset of having tried everything, and give it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people go through keto fasting, without realizing that it's just 2, 3 ways of doing things. I mean,
Right.
might fail at them. There's so many other ways, right?
Yeah. Right.
Wow. Good stuff. Matt, this is it. These are all the questions that I had for you. I appreciate you sharing your experience. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.